12 News, a Park Center grad who lacks fear.
If you reckon this, it's like getting in a car accident without the car.
Plus, change is underfoot at a longtime Robbinsdale business.
That's over 100-year history I covered up.
But first, the warmest weather since November. That could be a record setter. 12 News starts right now. Hello, everyone, and thanks for joining us. Prepare to say goodbye to what's left of the snow in your yard.
It will feel downright balmy on Saturday. Temperatures are expected to reach 55 degrees, which would be a record high for the day. Reporter Sonia Goins shows us how some folks are enjoying the winter melt.
Old Man Winter is slowly packing his bags. Deb Rohan and her four-legged buddies are enjoying our gradual warm-up by walking around Palmer Lake in Brooklyn Park.
I like it crisp and cool, and I like the sunshine. Yeah, and I like that most of the ice is melted.
The Twin Cities Boys and Girls Club made it a fun Friday by ice fishing on Lake Minnetonka.
Hey, we couldn't ask for better weather, sunshine, but for a lot of these kids, this is the first time they walked on a frozen lake.
Reeling in just a little bit.
This was also the first time ice fishing for some of these kids.
Now, did you get him? You got him.
Dante Jackson has a knack for ice fishing.
This is my 8th one.
Ronald Trice also reeled in a few fish.
Whoa, that's so good.
Show me your fish. Let me see.
That is so cool.
Their location on the ice today was safe, but the Hennepin County Sheriff's Office wants to remind folks to stay off as the temperatures warm up.
We always will say ice is never safe. Right now there's spots out there that are 19 inches thick, and a couple hundred yards away we have it that's 7 and 8 inches thick. In other areas it can be 2 inches thick.
Whether you're out on the ice or simply taking in the warm rays, there's plenty of things to do this weekend.
Now this weather is going to be really perfect if you want to get out your golf clubs. There are actually some courses that are opening up their driving ranges. This will be the earliest opening in years. You just have to check around and make sure which courses are open. In Golden Valley, Sonia Goins, 12 News.
In other news, a Minneapolis man suspected of stealing from fitness clubs in the West Metro is now charged with identity theft. Ronald Guy was arrested last week but then released just a couple of hours before the charges were filed. Police say they have him on video using credit cards stolen from fitness clubs in Plymouth, Maple Grove, Champlin, and Eden Prairie. According to one published report, though, Guy's attorney says he denies the charges and says he just looks like the suspect in the case.
State and county officials are investigating what led to a widespread flu-like illness at the Hennepin County Workhouse in Plymouth. In the past week, more than 50 inmates and staff became sick. County officials put the jail into lockdown Wednesday to prevent the spread of the virus and sanitize the facility. Initial testing found that it wasn't a foodborne issue, but they still haven't identified what caused the outbreak.
You have to remember, with 390 people out there plus staff, there's probably 450 people out there during the day. That's 900 hands and 900 different things that can be touched, and so you got to make sure you're careful and you isolate people. So if you want something that's contagious to go away, it'll go away through that isolation.
County officials expect to lift the lockdown sometime this weekend.
In Brooklyn Park, another big project will be going up along the 610 freeway. The city approved plans for a new 200,000 square foot building for a company called Star Exhibits. It'll be at the corner of 93rd and Hampshire Avenues. These pictures show what it would look like. The company designs and builds displays for businesses to use at trade shows and corporate events. Star Exhibits employs about 100 people. You might have noticed a downtown Robbinsdale business briefly closed at the beginning of the week.
It was the first time Hackenmueller's meat market closed on a regular workday since the Halloween blizzard back in 1991. But if you step inside and look around, you'll see the reason why. If grilling weather is in store for the weekend,
the meat's great, never had a bad piece.
Business picks up.
This was just a normal thing to come to Hackenmueller's.
And that's been the story at Hackenmueller's Meat Market for decades.
It seems like an old-fashioned kind of place.
Okay. Meat has been trimmed, sliced, and smoked in this Robbinsdale building for more than 100 years.
We come every Friday with our list of meats for the next week.
Customers appreciate that in an ever-changing world,
hard to find a place like Hackenmueller's.
Hackenmueller stays the same.
Anything from your past always has a certain appeal. Hackenmueller's has always had this appeal.
This will last forever.
Which is why when owner Gordy Lindenfelser decided to put in new floors,
that needed to be done.
It was a big deal.
I couldn't believe it when I got up this morning and looked at my Facebook on my phone. I go, whoa. You know, some people are disappointed, but I'm disappointed, because that's over 100-year history I covered up.
Gordy says if he's ever going to sell the place, which he doesn't intend to do anytime soon, he had to upgrade the old wooden floors.
Said it, Gordy, if you're going to sell it, it's got to get done or the buyer's got to do it. So I figured, well, I might as well do it, get it done right.
So the business closed at the beginning of the week while the old floors were covered up and the new floors went down.
Everybody here likes it. It's even a little easier on your legs.
Probably.
Little give.
Customers even requested a plank or two as a keepsake.
Yeah, well, that ain't gonna. My son wanted one. If he can't get one, nobody's getting one. I wish I could have.
The significance isn't lost on Gordy,
A lot of history under that floor now.
who also wonders about the stories he'd hear if these floors could talk.
The old floor saw a lot in over 100 years, and so hopefully the new floor will also see a lot.
The floors were replaced behind the counter where the meat is cut. Gordy plans to replace the floors in front of the counter within the next year or so. And Mike, just so no one gets excited, he's not closing, he's not selling anytime soon.
And not giving away a plank of the floor.
No, can't do that either. Coming up, the thrill of victory and the agony of crashing.
Then later in sports, highlights from day one of the individual competition at the state wrestling meet.
But first, fire up the grill. It will be a tempting option for a spring-like Saturday.
The Crashed Ice World Finals are taking place in St. Paul.
This extreme sport is not for the faint of heart. One of the brave skaters this year is a former North Metro hockey player from Brooklyn Park. We get more from Eric Nelson.
You don't got time for fear out here. That slows you down.
For Matt Johnson, speed thrills.
I love every minute of this. This is what I live for. The adrenaline rush is like no other. I mean, I could experience the speeds that I would never experience on hockey skates on flat ice.
Johnson is an adrenaline junkie.
Definitely the most dangerous thing I've ever done.
And this weekend's Crashed Ice Finals in St. Paul are the ultimate fix for the former Park Center student. Johnson competes in ice cross downhill, a hybrid event that combines traditional and extreme sports.
It's a bunch of hockey players and alpine skiers, downhill mountain bikers that throw on skates and go down this wild ride.
Johnson and the other Crashed Ice athletes are racing in the shadow of the historic St. Paul Cathedral. Some need divine intervention to survive the 1,200-foot urban ice track as they encounter a 90-foot vertical drop, hairpin turns, air jumps, and obstacles.
This is the Crashed Ice finish line where the skaters hope to end up, but not all of them make it.
The risk factor is higher than a St. Paul skyscraper.
I have a stress fracture in my talus and a piece of my tibia is floating around in there, so.
And wipeouts can be painful and punishing.
If you reckon this, it's like getting in a car accident without the cars.
Johnson, however, did finish on his first shootout run and is eager to put on a show for his peeps in the Twin Cities.
I can't wait to show what I got for all my friends and family that are coming out and put on a good show for the hometown.
In St. Paul, I'm Eric Nelson, Channel 12 News.
The Crashed Ice Tour consists of 10 events staged all around the world. This is Johnson's second season racing. So good luck to him that he just gets through it.
So he doesn't put the crash in Crashed Ice.
Absolutely right. Coming up, a play that aims to bring sunshine to preoccupied parents.
But first, the Breck boys hockey team battles Delano for a trip to state. John Jacobson has the highlights next in sports. John Jacobson with sports. It was a good run for Maple Grove. They upset some teams along the way, but then things turned.
They come up one game short
Tough
of the
team.
state tournament. Yeah, very good Anoka team. Maple Grove boys hockey team upset top seed Blaine in the Section 5AA semifinals. They look to add another win as they took on Anoka for the Section 5AA championship on Thursday. Tornadoes leading 1-0 in the first period and add another here. The pass comes to Blake Newman, who shot a stop, but Jack Giddings cleans up on the rebound to make it 2-0 Anoka. But the Crimson wasting little time in answering. Just 35 seconds later, Sam Ross skates past a couple of Anoka players before backhanding that shot in. Big goal for Maple Grove, and it's 2-1 after one. Second period, Crimson sophomore Matthew Jaggle carries the puck in, and as he goes down, gets to Jack Kelly, who scores, tying the game at 2. 27 seconds later, Grove is on the board again. Kelly hits the outside of the net with his shot, but Trevor Janicki gets the puck to Tevin Nygaard. He buries it into the open net. The Crimson lead 3-2. Tornadoes, though, get the equalizer, cashing in on a 2-on-1. Giddings with his second of the game from Tristan Moravsky ties the game at 3. And the third period is all Anoka. Number 22, Moravsky, is in the right spot in front of the Maple Grove net to score what turns out to be the game-winning goal. Crimson fall to Anoka, 6-3. In Class A, Breck faced Delano in the Section 2 championship game for the second year in a row. The Mustangs skating after the school's 12th state tournament appearance in Class A. First period, scramble around the Delano net. Breck's number 12, Justin Paschke, knocks in that loose puck. Mustangs are on the board first. Tigers answer 2 minutes later. Brian Hallinan buries the rebound off of Justin Daly's shot. Shorthanded goal ties it at 1. Early in the second period, Breck's Tyler Scott wins the faceoff. Back to Chase Ellingson, who shoots and scores. Mustangs net the only goal of the second period. Trailing 3-1 in the third, Jesse Lawman gets the Tigers closer, beating goalie Trevor Olness, and it's 3-2. Teams traded goals back and forth in the third period. Harder Breitenfeld scores the final goal of the night to make it 5-3. Breck wins Section 2A for a second straight year. Mustangs will open state tournament play in St. Paul next Wednesday. After team champions were crowned Thursday, wrestlers in the individual portion of the state wrestling tournament hit the mats on Friday. 7 local schools with wrestles in the Class 3A individuals, including Champlain Park 113-pounder Dylan Drogemuller locking the cradle on the way to a pin over Jake Finken of Minnetonka. Drogemuller's 39-0 this season. Maple Grove 8th grader Joseph Thompson in the 106-pound class gets pinned by Aaron Cashman of Mound West Tonka. Park Center freshman Gunnar Nelson in white, 113 pounds. He wrestles tough but gives up a reversal here. Apple Valley's Nate Larson wins 5-2. Osseo's Elon Quezada in orange gets a reversal, and it's a 120-pound match against Alex Kern of St. Cloud Tech, but Kern wins in overtime. Wayzata's Dan Herta leans back on the cradle for near fall point. Herta rallies to beat Minneapolis Southwest Christian Porter 9-6 at 160. 182 Armstrong's Brandon Lundeen in red gives up a takedown to Trey Rogers of Hastings. Rogers wins the match 12-4. Action continues Friday evening and wraps up Saturday at the XL Center. Boys basketball teams in Section 5 4A started their road to state on Thursday night. At Osseo, top-seeded and unbeaten Osseo hosting Roseville. Marmar Hughes gets the rebound, kicks it out. Kyle Williams hits the Osseo 3. Alexei Ojanovich hits from long range. The Raiders keep it close early. Cameron Betty powers his way to the goal for a basket and foul here for Osseo. And then DeMario Armstrong with a nice catch and shoot three-pointer. And the Orioles are up 31-18. Alan Anderson strokes a three-pointer, and Osseo goes on to lead 51-28 at halftime. They win big, 92-44. Also in Section 5, Park Center hosted Spring Lake Park second half. Mark Rowell drives the lane, gets the and one for the Panthers. Isaiah Simon kicks it out to Khalif Ahmed for a Pirates 3. And a huge play for Park Center here as Kahari Broadway gets a steal, draws the foul, and scores. And the free throw gives the Pirates an 11-point lead. Park Center gets out on the break, and Ahmed sets up Lucini Kamara for the hoop. Park Center wins it over Spring Lake Park 70-56. In another quarterfinal round game in Section 5 4A, Champlain Park routed Irondale 79-51. 4 players scored in double figures for the Rebels. The semifinals are next Monday night. Champlain Park hosts Mounds View, while Osseo is home to play Park Center. Section final Friday, March 4th at Rogers High School. And that's a look at a busy day of sports.
Yeah, keeping you guys busy.
Yes. Lots of fun. Thanks, John. Still ahead, sunshine this weekend, plus lots of sunshine on stage at Armstrong High School.
We'll be right back.
Judging has wrapped up on the best artwork from 10 area high schools. About 90 works of art were on display at North Hennepin Community College this month, where faculty members did most of the judging. They say it's high-quality work that's always exciting.
They're not constricted by right or wrong. They tend to do kind of wacky things, and that's always fun to see that, you know. So I think this, we got some really good examples tonight of some great artwork.
A new category this year was the People's Choice. This is where anybody who stopped by the gallery could vote. The winner was this ink drawing called Young at Heart by Allie Harris of Elk River High School. Kind of funny, too. Well, how often do you have the opportunity to see a play about a practically perfect person you grew up with?
Thanks to Armstrong High School's production about the perfect nanny, you can this weekend. Neil Persley has more in today's Weekend Showcase.
I'm practically perfect in every way.
The Practically Perfect, Adorable Nanny takes the stage in Armstrong High School's presentation of Mary Poppins. Senior Alexa Johnson becomes the sometimes enigmatic Mary Poppins.
Well, I'd actually never seen the movie all the way through before. So I watched the movie and I looked up some videos on YouTube of the Broadway show and kind of like watched her mannerisms and stuff and tried to play off that a little bit.
I asked her what she thought the relationship was between the characters of Mary and Bert.
We kind of think there's maybe a little bit of a romance that took place a couple years ago, and we see each other every now and again, and every time we do, it's very special and we enjoy each other's company a lot.
The set itself has a bit of magic as well. Master carpenter Ben Gallup told me about a couple of the challenges.
We designed a fireplace that actors can actually go through, and it makes it look like they're going through the chimney. In the show, there's a trick toy box where Mary Poppins pulls out her hat stand and various other stuff.
The show is a Broadway adaptation, so it's not exactly the same as the movie. But if you like the movie, you won't be disappointed. The songs you love are still there.
Typically, it's an intergenerational show. Little kids know the music as well as their parents. I got people singing along the whole way, so hopefully you'll leave the show humming one of the tunes and just feel that maybe your day is a little brighter than it was when you came in.
That's exactly what it does. And for that, I give it a rating of S for supercalifragilisticexpialidocious. For Weekend Showcase, I'm Neil Persley, 12 News.
Mary Poppins is on stage tonight and Saturday night at Armstrong High School. Showtime is 7 p.m. And what else could it be rated? That was perfect.
You knew that was going to be his rating.
Absolutely perfect. I love that show.
Yeah, and who doesn't
job.
like Mary Poppins, right?
That's all the time we have for now. Thanks for joining us, everyone.
Have a great weekend, everyone. We'll see you back here again on Monday.